Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News. Happy birthday, Top Knot. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at Uluwan erupting days ago into the stratosphere, confirmed. 63,000 foot ceiling. Amazing footage coming out of the pancake that was injected into the stratosphere. We'll get to that later in the video. We want you to keep calm. Things are progressing nicely, as predicted. It's boom time, kids. Cows in Minnesota swept away during flash flood. Dramatic video shows. It's black screen where we are. A herd of 50 cows were swept away during a flash flood Friday, with dramatic video showing a cattle being carried downstream after a night of heavy rains. Slam, southeast Minnesota. Say it ain't soda. Bob Eustace, a farm owner near Zumbro River, told Fox 9 it was his cattle that was carried off by the overflowing creek early Friday morning. Holy macaroni. Let's look at the Twitter footage. Get the kids in bed, folks. You do not need to see this. Cows being swept away in the creek. Now, lucky for the cows, they're fat asses. And this isn't moving that fast. I would imagine many of these cows may make it. Anybody's guess. But I digress. There I am. Boom! Back in the corner, which isn't a schmorner. It is a Leak Project hat, though. 5G on my head. I feel good. Swarm of mayflies invade Ohio, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the grand solar minimum update. With any Midwestern rainfall this summer, the Missouri River could flood the lower basin region. Apparently, the upper basin region is already flooded. What happened in spring bodes ill for the summer, which is a total bummer. March storms in the Midwest caused significant damage to the levee system of the Missouri River. And now, any strong or frequent rainfall this summer could be a total bummer. Trigger flooding along the lower Missouri River, experts say. Kevin Lowe, service coordinator hydrologist at the Missouri River Basin Forecast Center, a National Weather Service office, told CNN Friday that it's been a very wet spring, and it all started in March. During that month, more than 7 million people were under flood warnings because the convergence of a snow belt, a bomb cyclone, snowstorm, and heavy rain in the heartland. There's a tornado. I said it. Severe thunderstorms could bring hail, lightning, heavy wind to 47 Pennsylvania counties. Thank God I'm not there. I hope you're safe, babe. I love you. The severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 9 p.m. Saturday for York, Adams, Franklin, Lebanon, Dauphin, Lancaster, and other counties in the region. That's where they make pretzels, dude. It's awesome. Amish much. The severe thunderstorm could bring hail, lightning, and heavy wind gusts to the regions Saturday afternoon, according to the National Weather Service and State College. Wind gusts to 60 miles per hour and quarter-size hail, which is way bigger than a crack rock unless you're, you got that money. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to trees, roofs, and siding. Unless you installed it yourself like Diamond. And it's never going anywhere. Unless, of course, the magnetic revert, Jan Thomas and all. Good times. Cosmic ray flux much. Increased flooding. Increased cosmic rays, increased Illuminati signatures. I don't even know how to do it. Are we doing it? Holy It's like reverse, man. It's so difficult. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Stratospheric radiation, March 2015 to August 2018. Up, and away. And I would imagine with the magnetic excursion that we're experiencing or magnetic reversal that these would be upticking, similar to Maine. It's insane. Which means more cloud nucleation, more flooding, epic records. Now, let's talk about some facts. And I know you're looking at me because I'm looking at you. Let's talk about the magnetic reversal, and let's talk about the grand solar minimum. What is more important to you? I'll tell you what's more important to you. What's more important to you is preparing anyway. It doesn't matter what you're preparing for. Preparing hedges the bet for your insanity in your brain. So the more resilient, self-reliant, and sustainable you become, get a big Berkey. You'd be able to filter pond water. Get a few life straws. Top Knot and I were out on the trail today in the Can-Ams, and we were up at like 10,000 feet. And he's like, "Can I drink the water in the river?" I'm like, "Here's my life straw. Drink away." You can literally drink pond scum for $12. So think about your preparedness schedule. Prepare accordingly. Go to our preparedness store and check out the products we have. Everything I use, I put in there. People constantly, subscribers are telling me to put new stuff in there. We have a whole organic farming section where you can get fertilizers and other stuff that you need and support the channel. If you're going to buy it anyway and you can't help us on Patreon, help us at the store. You need to know no more. Stratospheric radiation will be increasing for the rest of your lifetime. And with the coming work of Zarkova, it's not looking good for the coming decades. Now, the grand solar minimum is the least of your worries. What we're living is a magnetic reversal. We're right on the flexure point. I was wondering what was going to happen. I've studied this my entire life, geologically. We are on the sea level fall surface. It's anyone's guess what that means, but this sea level fall surface is an erosional surface followed by a depositional environment that is completely different directly above it. That's much shallower. So what we're about to experience is probably an epic drop of sea level. And that means there's going to be a snowball Earth situation in the next 100 or so years, which happens during glacial periods. Maximum glaciation, last one about 26,000 years ago, was called the Wisconsinian, which was rapidly ended about 11,500 years ago during the Younger Dryas events. The first, the second, the Middle Dryas, and the Younger Dryas, and the other Dryas, and so on and so forth. Now, these are events that paleoclimatologically we know about. I mean, I've studied them my whole life. This is my whole life dedication. Paleoclimatology. Proxy data. Interpreting what other things are telling us is happening, including tree rings, oxygen isotopes, argon, and other rare elements. All these things added together give us a clear picture of what has happened over the last several million years. And we have clear data with the GISP-2 as well as the Antarctic Ice Project. We know what's going on in the North and South Poles, and we can correlate this data as major upswings and downswings in glacial ice. So it's not like the powers that be don't know what has happened in the past. We're talking geologic timescales, paleoclimatological. The problem is they haven't brought this into the IPCC at all. The IPCC only looks at recent, modern instrument data. They don't even want to mention what happened back in 1934, let alone what happened back in 1880 or in the 1600s and so on and so forth. Spore minimum. The medieval warming. The Roman warm. Never discussed. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because if you incorporate the facts into the protocol, you're fluxed. Iowa DNR, late winter, snow, spring, rain, dampened pheasant, quail nesting, outlook. Grand solar minimum much? What else would explain it? It's damp and cold and extra snow and rapid snow mountain, blah, blah, blah. It's because of global warming. All these things are happening. We have record snowpack in North America, one of the top 5 in recorded history. We have record summer snows. We have sun, snow, and slopes for the 4th of July at Snowbird in Utah to have a 4th of July skiing event. You know when the last time that happened? 2009, during the last solar minimum, you pricks. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Because I can't put it down any longer. but I'll continue. It's the first time since 2011, which was the end of the last solar minimum, which lasted from 2009 to 2011. The resort has been able to allow 4th of July snow activities. And that's tonight's first boom. If you're picking up the data and you're putting it down in your brain, you can realize that record snowpack is going to continue to melt, because last night's low temperature here where I live in the high mountains is 50. We see that 5 or 10 times a year. And this is early in the season to be seeing a 50-degree high at night. It doesn't happen that often. And that's going to continue the snow melt. So the snow's going to drain out in the mountains. And we're going to see another record peak here, peaking at 9 foot in the next 3 or 4 days. And then it will drop off. And guys, just for a heads up, people aren't allowed in the river in tubes until it gets down here to 600 feet, 600 cubic feet per second. That's going to be my prediction. July 14th. This is antioxidant super tea. Get it. It's delicious, and I just kicked about $1.50 down the drain just a moment ago. Oh my God. Tragic. Here's the GFS model for total snow into July 8th. We're seeing snow picking up here in Wyoming here on the, it's looking like the 5th, July 4th and 5th. Wyoming's going to pick up some snow, as well as Alberta and Saskatchewan. BC heads up. Boom. Look at that. But the reason I'm bringing this up is pretty simple, because the heat wave continues just 300 miles away. There's a heat wave in southern Minnesota, as well as Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, and northern Kansas. Good times. That's crazy, isn't it? Heat wave here, snow right here. The strong heat wave has gripped the large portion of the central U.S. for several days, and it continues with heat advisories in effect once again for many areas Sunday, which will not be your fun day. Saturday is Saturday, and it may melt. The excessive heat will gradually shift to the southeast and mid-Atlantic states for much of the upcoming week. Well, and you know why that happens? Because here's the weather, where the heat is, and that will move to the east, like all weather does. That's amazing. I'm so glad I'm part of this channel. Seismic update. No quakes of note, except there are a ton of quakes worldwide in the moderate magnitude. We're at the bottom of cycle 24, headed to cycle 25. My flexure point is not until March 2020. Could be earlier. It could be squirrelier. We're gonna watch it closely. It's anybody's guess. We won't know till we know. Interesting quake kicking off here, though, in the U.S. Let me show you that. 3.5 Mesquite, Nevada. Blot Echo in Indonesia, 5.1 in Kadul. Also, where are we at? Let's get it. 52 kilometers. The Ring of Fire is Aspire. And soon there will be a funeral pyre, and we'll report on it. Uluwan volcano to 63,000 feet 3 days ago. Ash cloud warning still in place, but ash seems to dissipate quickly. Now, the activity at the volcano seems to have decreased a lot or ceased 2 days ago. At the end of a very violent eruptive phase, satellite observations show that the impressive umbrella cloud topping and spreading as a circle more than 150 kilometers in diameter in the lower stratosphere. Holy shit. Where is that, man? Where the fuck is the lower stratosphere? Ah, here it is. So if Earth is green, and here's the surface where all the pricks walk along, The troposphere is the area where chemtrails are, if you're a nutcase, or condensation nuclei and clouds occur. Troposphere is what causes lightning and rain and booms. And sometimes lightning comes up from the mesosphere, but we'll get to that later. The stratosphere here is a different layer. So the troposphere recycles quickly. It's like the air cycle. It's called the weather cycle. And in the stratosphere, if you blow particulates up into this particular region, they may last up here for 1 to 3 years, sometimes longer. This is where the ozone occurs here between 20 and 28 kilometers. That's the ozone area. And if you put a bunch of chlorofluorocarbons up into that region, it will absolutely destroy the ozone. Now, if you put a bunch of sulfur dioxide and other chemical particulates, it will reflect the sunlight back into space through the mesosphere. And that will increase the albedo effect and cause cooling down here in the troposphere and the Earth, which is why we predicted the grand solar minimum to have started just 1 year ago or so. It's anybody's guess, because until it's over, we won't have nailed the dates from the beginning to the end. Anyone who tells you different is full of shit, and they can suck it. Now, let's talk about the stratosphere versus the troposphere and the cooling of the Earth. Any volcanic eruptions that enter the stratosphere have been proven to cool the Earth, and we'll cover that in a video tomorrow night, maybe the day after. Depends on how much sleep I need. But the stratosphere, when you inject aerosols into this particular region, they can linger for days, months, decades, and years. And according to the eruption report, let's get to it. We have activity up to 45,000 feet, including explosive activity continuing with volcanic ash being injected to 45,000 feet. 45,000 feet. That's right up here in the commercial jet area, 10 miles, maybe 12 miles. That's all in the stratosphere, approaching the ozone. Now, not only that, we have 55,000 feet, and we certainly have 63,000 feet, or 20,000 meters. That's 20 kilometers, folks. 20 kilometers brings us to the base of the ozone layer and well into the stratosphere. Now, if we see an eruption above 30 kilometers, we would expect it to cool the Earth for 5 to 15 years. But this particular eruption is just going to cool us down a tippy-touch from 1 to 3 years. And that's just the beginning of the eruptions that are going to continue to cool the Earth time immemorial. Do a dab, watch the loop. Why? Because you can. Because you're watching our channel. Any other channel wouldn't allow you to watch the loop or the flip-flops or my dumb ass. Do you have any class? Do you want to kiss my... That's ash all over your face. It's a disgrace. Boom time. As predicted, we are now at VEI 5. We're not even making this up. Uluwatu volcano eruption, Papua New Guinea satellite, June 26, 2019. Which was 3 days ago for some of you, 2 days ago for others. And for the Smothers brothers, they're watching this from heaven. Oh my God, did you see how big that was? That was a big one. Do a dab. Do it now. Papua New Guinea, Uluwatu, 63,000 foot ripple injection into the stratosphere. That will linger. Next stop, Iceland. It's coming. It's coming. back. We're back. I hope you didn't smoke crack because you probably saw your toaster in the morning. And if you have children, well, the state will come and take them. Now, let's get to some facts. VEI, Volcanic Explosivity Index. VEI Index, the Volcanic Explosivity Index. 0 through 8. 8, we're talking all you fearmongers in the, Yellowstone realm. But let's get to the brass tacks here. Plinian, VEI 5. Paroxysmic, greater than 10 kilometers. Plinian, greater than 20 kilometers. That's where we're at. 63,000 feet. 10 to 20. So we're right at the VEI 5-6 cusp on this eruption, which happens between 12 and 50 years. Substantial tropospheric injection, substantial in both accounts. Significant stratospheric injection on the VEI 5. Substantial on the 6. So we have a significantly substantially significant injection, which anyone would be proud of if they were looking to get laid or have a baby. Wow. I can only say that because we're 10 minutes in. So at 63,000 feet, we're just tippy-touch penetrating to the ozone up here above 20 kilometers, which is up into the stratosphere, which is big news. VEI 5, cusp 6, Uluwan, which no one is reporting on. Nobody. Nobody cares to dare but Diamond. Massive asteroid explodes above Puerto Rico mere hours after detection. Holy erection of the dissection of the detection of the asteroid. Could you imagine if that was coming in your apartment window and nobody told you? Well, I'm going to tell you now. We have it live. Yeah. We're now demonetized. We love you. Those bongos kick ass. They take names. You know what that means? That means we're fluxed. That means that if an impacting object that we have undetected is detected, you know how much warning we have? None. 0. Goose egg! Are you looking at me? Are you picking it up? You know how much time we have? None. That's totally insane. Not only that, none of this is loaded. Boom. Hello. We know they are. And we know that it is boom time. Do you know there's an eclipse? It's in the southern hemisphere. Now, as we wait for nothing to happen and wiggle wires, we want you to know how to watch the July 2nd solar eclipse from anywhere in the world. South America will host the first total solar eclipse since 2017's Great American Solar Eclipse, where everyone lost their balls and took their names and said that Jesus was coming, and you continue your watch to the magic. It's going to look like that. It's going to look like a big black dot. The Pacific Ocean, Chile, Argentina will get a great look at the total solar eclipse on Tuesday, July 2nd. If you can't get to South America, well, you can watch it on TV. Exactly what your fat ass wanted anyway. You can instead watch this eclipse unfold on your fat ass, according to Diamond. The eclipse will trace a path of totality, of total darkening over a narrow swath of a place where no one's ass will ever get to because it costs too much money and people may rape them and abduct them in that region. And over the land across Chile and Argentina, where they clip the nuts of chickens with scissors and do other things. The Exploratorium's live broadcast, however, will not include that and will include telescope views from Chile starting at 12:23 p.m. Pacific, and the coverage of the commentary from the museum's experts will be at this link that I'm touching, thankfully with a very clean pointer. NASA scientists at 1 p.m. Pacific. You can also catch the eclipse goodness through the museum's Total Solar Eclipse 2019. They must be watching the show. I can't even believe it. They actually said that. Now, what's more insane is that I just shut down the actual link that had a video we could play and continue to make this podcast even longer and more demonetized. I wasn't even thinking. I'm sorry. Thanks, Top Knot, for being here. Happy birthday! Where is it? Anyway, Top Knot and I went over to a secret area by the Snow Lodge, which will soon be Leak Project City or whatever it's going to be called. Infinite Abundance. Maybe the Organic Church of Infinite Abundance, but this page is totally shut down, so we're not going to see that. That's insane. That is the CIA blocking me, or the Illuminati, however you want to look at it. Here's the live stream, which is not even live yet. So, there it is. Okay, that's all we have to say about that. Let's quickly move on. Your dog's food may be linked to canine heart disease or cancer. Yeah, that's true. Because the food you eat is food for sheep. Can you imagine what the food your dog eats or your cat? Oh my God. It's not even for them. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is warning dog owners of a possible link between certain dog food brands and large tumors on their chest. I have a whole case of hemp lucid CBD for pets. It's called Calic or Calic. I don't know how to say it. Doesn't matter. But you give it to your pets and it makes them feel better. Not only that, it's a nutritional supplement. But I digress. Hemp Lucid's coming out to the ranch 4th of July weekend, so that'll be awesome. Now, the FDA has investigated more than 500 cases of dilated cardiomyopathy in dogs eating certain types of shitty food that cost barely a penny, according to their statement. So, if you're not spending 50 cents or more per pound and you don't know that it's locally sourced dog food from small farms that's non-GMO and mostly animal protein, then you're feeding them GMO corn scraps, floor sweepings, and glyphosate. And no wonder there's 100 tumors on your animal. And your veterinarian's only option is like, well, for $200, I'll kill him. Or for $9,000, I'll give him some kind of anal rectal exam with blood, and we can remove all of his organs. And he may live for a minute. Yeah, it's the food. You are what you eat. The food you eat currently is food for sheep, and it gives them cancer. So be diligent on what you feed your pet, please. 9 lives kills all animals. And 12 out of 13 scientists agree global warming is a hoax. And we're right there with them. I'm number 11. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Did you know if you just come over here and say preparewithleak.com or preparewiththeranch.com? Preparewiththeranch.com. Check it out. Check out what happens. Holy. You go right to My Patriot Supply. And you support the channel. And you get some of the best deals at My Patriot Supply that they even offer. How about a 4-week supply of food for you and your family for $150? I'm sorry, it's less than that. And it's free shipping. How about that? How about when the lights went out and you didn't have anything to feed anybody? How about that? Did you know about our Amazon store? Do you know how many people email me daily? Amazon.com/shop/Oppenheimer Ranch Project about the store. And they want me to add a product. I just added products to Organic Gardening Essentials today. Yeah. For one of our listeners, one of our subs. They wanted tomato tone. Dr. Earth's homegrown tomato, whatever. They wanted organic stuff. Worm castings. Fruit and citrus. They wanted stuff to make more stuff so they could eat better stuff for free. Blood meal. Yeah. Cottonseed meal. Who knew? I just told you. Thanks to each and every one of our Patreons, our one-time donors. Top Knot for bringing his Can-Ams out here and letting us take names. Thanks to those of you that are listening and sharing these videos. The algorithm is not sharing them. It's because of you that we even have any new subscribers. We took a huge hit with the demonetization, but Magnetic Reversal News is growing. Continue to share these videos, please. And we'll continue to bring you awesome footage of bees and news and science like you like it. Like you want it. Full of the bullshit. Free of the bullshit. And full of the awesomeness. You know what time it is. We love each and every one of you. Even if you hit the thumbs down. You're capable of growing. I did. I was an asshole like you, too. Now I'm an asshole like me. Be safe.